Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Siewruk, the founder and chief strategist at the dailymarketforecast.com. And I'm really excited to share something with you today. Uh, been trading for 26 years, teaching trading for 16 years, and I have not had the privilege of trading something as spectacular and as profitable as the strategy you're going to learn about today. So let's just jump right in. Risk disclosure statement, trading does involve risk, could be substantial, not suitable for everybody. Please understand that you should be using what's called risk capital in your trading. That's money you can't afford to lose without jeopardizing your lifestyle. And I like to say your mental health as well, right? So make sure you are using risk capital and make sure you're starting any new trading strategy with small amounts of money, maybe even some simulated trading to get used to it so that you have the capital to get to the other side. I'm going to show you a lot of trades that we were in over the last year and actually 19 months. And some of them are still open, but they're all done. And that means they are passed. And as we know, past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. So what I'm sharing with you is educational in nature, and I'm going to demonstrate a software program we've developed that'll make everything you're going to learn today really easy to implement and really skyrocket your trading results. Okay. So that's the purpose of it. And please understand that if you use any of this, it's at your own risk, and that we here are not registered investment advisors. All right, let's go. Here's what you're going to learn today. Something that, and I got a great story to tell you about how I learned it, but what you trade is more important than how you trade. What does that mean? Well, if your email inbox is anything like mine, you're probably getting emails every day for how to trade something. It's cryptos, it's Forex, it's algos, it's AI, it's chart patterns, it's indicators. It's like it's all over the map how many different ways there are to trade. That is how to trade. And, uh, most of them probably work. What I've come to find out in the decades I've been doing this, and there's two things really that stop people from succeeding at this. And one of them is the mental game, right? Because we were all brought up and raised to win and to be right. And see, the market doesn't care about that. And the market's neutral. So if you bring that kind of I've got to win and I've got to be right attitude to the market, you're going to have a hard time. But that's not the topic of today. What we're going to talk about today is the other thing that stops people from succeeding, and that is what they're trading. It's the selection of what they're doing, how they're doing it, whether it's with technical indicators, supply and demand, or any other strategy you've learned. It's important, no question, it has to have edge, but you can really turbocharge the results and even turn a mediocre strategy into a good one when you focus on what your selection is. So what I did was when I figured this out, and I'll share the story with you in a minute, we just went and developed a software program that allows us to find what we should be trading and when. Because what traders really want is something that's going to move and move pretty quickly. All right. Now, I'm also going to teach you about a style of trading that's really important. There isn't a bank or a hedge fund or a prop shop that doesn't use it. And it's called asymmetrical trading. This is where you're risking very small amounts, but your expected returns are much higher. This allows you to have many losing trades that really don't matter because they're small losers. And then the final thing I'm going to teach you is what does Wall Street do to get their trading skills, their traders' skills improving over and over. As any business, you're always trying to make it better. And Wall Street has a method that we can employ to get better and better at our trading. And I want to share that with you. Okay. All right, real quick story about how I got to this strategy. I'm a day trader of futures. I have a futures day trading room. Every morning we get together with my team and we share trades and we trade as a team. And I love trading as a team because We hold each other accountable, we share best practices, and we fix the challenges that we run into together. And like I said, this is really what separates Wall Street and the hedge funds and the prop shops from the typical retail trader. And that is all their traders work in teams. There's a synergy that happens, and you go through your learning curve and you get better much quicker than when you're all alone. So I love doing that. But I don't want to spend the whole day in front of the computer screen anymore. So a few years ago, I decided I was going to perfect a strategy that fit my lifestyle of wanting to not be there all the time, but still capture really good returns. And that would put us in what's called a swing trading strategy, one where those trades are open for days, weeks, even months sometimes, right? So when I started doing it, I was, it wasn't really consistent. And I was getting a little annoyed by it because I've had such a great career in trading. So I started by blaming it on the strategy. And that got me switching strategies, trying something new. Um, it didn't change anything. And I started to feel like, I know there's wins. I know they have edge in these strategies, but it seems like I'm missing the best trades. Why am I making those wrong decisions? So I stopped trading real money. And I said, I'm just going to devote the time to research, to look at what was I doing wrong? Why was there edge there that I wasn't getting? And what I found out really shocked me because I hadn't thought this before. And it basically was the strategies were okay. It was what I was selecting, which stocks I was getting in, which options. And it's a critical thing to be able to hone in on what's ready to move, what's more likely to move. And this is what I want to share with you today. The what, the best way to find what to trade, regardless of what your strategy is. Now, we have a strategy that I'll teach you as well. But if you're happy with what you're already doing, just know that you can layer this on to whatever it is you're doing, and you'll see improvement because there's proven edge in what I'm going to show you. All right, so let's just take a quick look at the hows. We've got technical indicators. A lot of people like using them. They build strategies and trade plans around them. There's hundreds of them out there. They're available in the public domain on every trading platform. And they're also available for sale from a lot of people. But that's the how to trade, right? And then supply and demand is a very popular method for trading. It's real, it's proven. A lot of demand pushes price up, a lot of supply pushes it down. But again, that's how to trade. And then some of us were taught in front of a price chart. We're taught to look for patterns that may suggest the future. Again, that's how to trade. But what I want to focus on, because each one of these still requires you to choose what you're going to trade. And there's a tremendous amount of edge that can be gotten by being selective with the right metrics to find what to trade. And the first one I'm going to ask you about is insider buying. And I'll tell it to you like this. Let's say your next door neighbor is the CEO of a public company, and you're talking to him one day, and he says, "Hey, Mike, you really need to buy the stock. We're going to have earnings crush the estimates next month. And we've got two really hot products coming out. You're going to want to be in this." What would you say? You look at him and you say, well, he's the CEO. He knows more than anybody. He just gave me a lot of cool inside information. You'd go out and buy the stock. Unfortunately, both of you would be doing something illegal because as an insider, he can't do that. He can't privately share material information about his company to anybody, right? They have to, that has to be done publicly. So that scenario is never going to happen, even if you do live next door to the CEO. However, there is something they do that will reveal this to us. And that is they buy more shares in the company they're running. They write a 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8-figure check to buy more shares in their company. They write it to the public marketplace, and they accumulate a bigger ownership in the company. And there's only one reason that they would do that that makes any sense at all. And that is they think it's going up. And since nobody knows more about the condition of that company and its likely future, you got to buy into it. Now, what do they have to do when they do that? Well, they have to file a form with the Securities Exchange Commission. And it's simple. You can do it online, and they just have to tell the SEC, this is how many shares I bought, and this is how much I paid. And that's it. They file that form. They must do it within 2 days of the transaction. And now all of a sudden that information, that insider buying information, becomes public information way before the general public knows about it. And what I'm going to show you today is we've developed a software tool that allows us to get those filings texted to our phone within minutes of it happening, as close to real time as you can get. That is what I call a leading indicator of price. And I've got plenty of evidence to show you that it is. Now, we've also isolated another leading indicator of price, and that's called unusual options activity. What does that mean? It means a big bet was placed on an outcome that doesn't look realistic. Somebody in the options market wrote a really big check, 6 figures, 7 figures, sometimes 8 figures, for an event that you look at and say, I don't see how price is going to go that far that quick. Turns out that the research has proven, which I'll share with you, that those are tremendous opportunities for outsized gains. So there we go. We're going to learn about 2 leading indicators of price that are not on a price chart. They tell us what to trade. Whatever you want to use for your how is just fine. All right. I see a few names here that are new to me. Gene here, Ethan, Brad, I know you, and Justin, I've met you. But just a quick background on myself so you understand why I'm qualified to teach you this. In 1989, I started a software company and sold it in 1995 to a public software company. And when I did that, I took in public shares. I didn't sell my company for cash. I sold it for shares of the public company. And because it was a very large position and because I was going to be the president going forward, I was considered an insider by the SEC. And that meant that I had to follow their rule book about when I could and couldn't buy and sell shares and options on that stock. Now, I wasn't a Wall Street executive or trader, but I felt comfortable with that big position of shares because I was on the inside. I knew if earnings were going to be good or bad. I knew if we were buying another software company that was going to be good for us. I knew if we had products coming out that would be good. All that inside information, sitting with the board, we knew these things, and it felt comfortable and confident to manage that big position, which at the time was, vast majority of my wealth. Well, after a couple of years of public company life and working too hard, I decided I wanted to leave and go back to my entrepreneurial roots. But I had a major challenge. And the challenge was as soon as I walked out the door, I wasn't on the inside anymore. I didn't have access to all that information, that non-public information that made me feel comfortable and confident. So what I did was I just took a 2-year hiatus from work and I immersed myself in the learning of the market, stocks and options. I took every course. I bought the software. I hired mentors. I did everything that we all do to learn this business, and ended up in 1999 feeling like I was confident enough to trade my capital and started trading full time in 99. Now, you tell somebody you're a trader, and the first thing they're going to ask you is, gee, got a hot tip for me? Like, where's the market going to go? Everybody wants to know. And, I was helping some family members and some friends, kind of sharing what I was doing that was successful with them, and found out I really enjoyed it. So I decided to get in the business of education of trading. And I did that by joining an organization back in 2008, where we actually built two trading academies, brick and mortar trading academies, one in the Detroit metro area, one in the Tampa Bay metro area. And in the years that I owned those academies, taught over 4,000 traders some aspect of trading. Ended up selling them, and COVID hit some months after that. And all of a sudden, we're all locked down, and it's okay. I'm trading in front of the screens all day, but I really missed working with other people. So I launched my current company, the dailymarketforecast.com, back in June of 2020. So we are going on 5 years old. We've been growing very well, and all is good here. That's my story. Now, I want to share with you a more pertinent story to what I'm going to show you today. And this is one about Peter Lynch. The name may ring a bell with you because Peter was famous. He was the manager of arguably the best mutual fund ever, called Fidelity Magellan Fund. This fund, he grew it from $200 million to $14 billion in the 13 years he ran it. And we're going back to the 70s and 80s. So I know that the B word today is nothing. In fact, pretty soon Musk is going to be a trillionaire, maybe. But back then, the B word was big. This was a big fund back then. And he did an amazing thing. He averaged over those 13 years twice what the stock market did. Now, you've probably heard it or read it somewhere. Most mutual fund managers don't beat the market. There's only a small handful that can do that. Peter did it for 13 years to a magnificent extent, almost twice what the S&P was. So the question is, how did he do it? And the answer is, well, anybody who's that successful at trading does a lot of things right, no question. But there was one thing he did that is still viable today, and you can do it too, and that is follow insider buys. Why? Well, he knew logically that no one knows more than the guys who are running the company. And while they could interview him as analysts, they really weren't getting anything but what they wanted to, what the insiders wanted to say, what they wanted to communicate. So he felt like the greatest thing he could do was look at what they did with their capital. Now, as I already mentioned, when you're an insider, you have to file that form with the SEC. Way back then, when Peter was managing money, there was no internet. There was no online 5 minutes, you filed your form. This was literally a paper trail. So not easy to find this information. He hired a Wall Street research firm, the first time anybody did this, to go and follow that paper trail, collect all that information, and give him the insider buying data that he was looking for. All right, clearly Peter did more than just that to get this kind of return, understood. But I think it's a phenomenal testimonial to insider buying as a key leading indicator coming from a man as successful as Peter was. So that's what this is. This is leading indicator number one, not on a price chart, insider buying. Now, when I was on the inside, I could buy almost any time. They did have blackout periods where we couldn't buy or sell, mostly around earnings season, and you could understand why. All I had to do was file that form with the SEC. It was simple and quick. Now, insiders are buying and they're selling. Let's look at the sell side first. There are a lot of reasons an insider would sell that has nothing to do with the future prospects of the company. It could be for estate planning, could be diversification of wealth, could be philanthropic. And let's face it, there's a lot of gorgeous yachts and jets out there. If you've got the money, you're going to buy one. So a lot of luxury items are purchased by the sale of those insider shares in small quantities, right? So the sell side of the insider trading is murky. There's too many reasons. We don't really know what the motivation was. Now, if you flip that coin, the buy side becomes crystal clear. There's only a couple reasons why anybody would do this. And that the number one reason is they strongly think the stock's going to go up. Now, when they do make that purchase on the inside, The SEC is suggesting that they hold it for at least 6 months. They don't have to, but they have to have the intention of it. So we've got a time horizon here. We know that as a swing trader, we are likely to see this stock make its move in that time period. Now, another reason they may buy is to take advantage of the dividends, but keep in mind, they still want the stock to go up. Nobody is writing that 6, 7, or 8-figure check just to park the money somewhere. It is because they believe the company they're running is going to go up. Now, it's not just me saying this. There's plenty of evidence. You even see it in the media. This out of Bloomberg. Investors have keen interest in the trades from executives and board members. They're eager to ride the insiders' coattails. Just think about that. If that's what the media says they're doing, that people want this and need to find it, well, then we need to find it too. And we need an easy way, a quick way to do that. There's been a lot of academic research on this very topic as well. This one from the Journal of Corporate Finance, insider purchases are associated with higher future firm performance. Drill down to the CEO level, and we see that now you're getting positive abnormal returns. Abnormal meaning better than the market. Think about Pete Lynch. And then another one here, insider trading is a significant predictor of future stock returns. Okay, we want this. It doesn't matter how you're getting in the market right now, whether you use our strategy that I'm going to teach you, or whether you use technical indicators or supply and demand or algos or whatever it is. You want these candidates. This is where you're going to add edge. But we have some challenges. Challenges are, number one, there's a lot of filings every month with the SEC. The website they have is slow and difficult, not intuitive, and you can't scan it like we really want to. All right. Now, what we've found in the last 2 years of trading this is that not every insider buy is tradable. They're not all created equally. So we've identified through thousands of these filings, what are the metrics in those filings that give us higher probability that those trades are going to work out, right? And so we put that all into a really quick, easy to use software program that I'm going to demo for you today, and bundled that software into a membership with continuing education on this very strategy. And I'll share that with you in a little bit too. But basically, you're going to get these buys fast and easy. Now, I'm going to show you a lot of the trades that we've done over the last 19 plus months. And they're all going to be just a chart picture like this. It's just a simple candlestick chart. These are screenshots from my TradeStation platform. You can use this on any platform. You really don't need a specific broker. And I just want to take a minute and explain what you're seeing here, okay? That vertical line right there, whenever you see that on a chart that I show you, that is the day that the insider filed with the SEC, which means you could get in the next day. Now, I've got a really great surprise for you. We've upgraded this software recently to include real-time text alerts on these filings. We're scanning that SEC database several times a day, actually every several minutes a day, so that when one of these come up, you can opt in if you want and get a text message and get in the same day as the insider filed, as close to real-time leading indicator as you can get. But a lot of the trades I'm going to show you were captured, buying the next day. So just to keep this simple, I'm going to say our entry was just going in the very next day. I'm not going to complicate it with strategy rules that you may use, or I'm just going to say, look, we saw the insider come and make the buy. We're going to go in the next day. And then this was a $12 stock that the CEO bought $3 million worth of right here on the chart. Well, you can see the chart wasn't exactly gorgeous. It was coming down pretty hard. Just, even went a little lower than the last couple dips. But it was at this time that he personally wrote a check to the public marketplace for $3 million. We're in the next day, And the way we chose to take this trade is a very, very simple options strategy that I'm going to teach you. It's basically just buying a call option. And what that means is that you're going to pay a little bit of money to rent the performance of the stock for a period of time. That's it. In this case, the trade was done on August 13th. We purchased the November expiration option. So we were renting the performance for 3 months. And in so doing, we only had to put out $1.30 a share, not $12.28. This is a really good deal because that's like putting 10% down. Really efficient use of the capital. Now, here's what you need to know about options. Every options contract is for 100 shares. They're standardized, which means that when I show you this number, $1.30, what you know is the minimum you could invest in the trade was $130. Couldn't be any less. The maximum you could lose is $130. That's it. This thing could go bankrupt in the next week, and nobody can come to you and say you owe money. Your price of your option is your minimum investment and your maximum loss. So again, to keep this presentation very simple, and I'm going to apply this to every one of the charts, I'm going to assume that all we did was buy one contract. So that would be 100 times whatever the price is. In this case, we put out $130. I'm also going to make the assumption that we just let it run to expiration. We agreed that this would be the maximum loss. However, it doesn't need to be. Notice that you could have, when it dipped down here, and maybe that option was now worth 65 cents instead of $1.30, you might have said, no, that's as much as I want to lose. I'm going to go ahead and sell it. Because options are just as tradable as the stock. We only trade options that are just as tradable as the stock. So while you could get out in different places, like here at a small loss, like here at a small gain, like here at a really nice gain, just to keep it simple, I'm going to apply the same thing to almost all of these trades. And that is, we got in the next day and we held it to expiration. All right. So what happened? 130 in, option expired at $12. That's $1,200 out. That trade was worth a little over 800% trading one contract. Now, I know some of you are sitting there saying, Mike, I've got more money than that. I can afford to lose 500 on a trade. Well, real simple. Take that option, multiply it by whatever gets you to 500. In this case, 4. You would have bought 4 of them. You would have put 500 at risk and made 6,000 instead of 1,200. There you go. The percentages don't change. Your dollar amount does. But again, I want to keep it really small. So if you can afford $100 in and $100 loss, 130, then this is a trade you could have put on for an 800% gain. All right. Let's move on to leading indicator number 2, unusual options activity. All right, I have done significant research on this topic. And as you know, I like to do academic research. And why? Well, because academic research has citations on where all the data comes from. All this research was done way before ChatGPT and any of these hallucinations we're going to get out of AI. So this is real bona fide research done the academic way. And I want to know a lot about these unusual options, right? So I found this incredible research project. These two guys did research, and their source material was based on 46 different other research papers on the subject. And they created a lot of different strategy ideas and did a significant back testing of it, looking at thousands of trades. They bought the really excellent options database. They qualified nearly 4,000 trades, and they tested all kinds of variables in those options trades to see what happens with these unusual options. And here's the evidence they found. Number 1, unusual options activity does in fact predict future returns. An investor could follow large option trades and earn abnormal returns. This is beautiful. We've got insider buys that can create at the CEO level that can create abnormal returns. Now we layer on an option that also can create abnormal returns. Doesn't matter what your strategy rules are. This is the what to trade, not the how. Now, they found that they did provide what we call asymmetrical trade results. And this is, as I mentioned earlier, and we're going to see it on the charts over and over again, we keep our risk small, so small we don't care about it. But the returns are much larger. They're asymmetrical. This is what hedge funds do. This is what prop shops endeavor to do. This is what the banks do. They look for asymmetrical opportunities. In fact, most banks, hedge funds, and prop shops lose more trades than they win. And that's okay because they're using low risk, high potential return opportunities. Now, we found that those really unusual options had the greatest future returns. Let me show you an example of one. We were in this trade in October. This was a little biotech company. You can see the charts kind of going up and down here. The stock was at, looks like about $96, maybe close to 100. And our software picked up an options buy. It was about a $500,000 bet that this company was going to go from 100 to 110 in the next 5 weeks. Now, that doesn't sound too hard to do, a 10% move in 5 weeks. But they bought that option for $2.30 a share. Now, you'll notice it was on this day. The stock opened up a little lower the next day, and we filled it at $1.92. So what's our minimum investment in the trade? $192. What's the maximum we can lose? $192. And you can see what happened. In 4 days, it shot, excuse me, in 2 days, it shot up and we closed it at $16.40. So $192 became $1,640. That is an asymmetric trade. You can lose a lot of these little trades. They're meaningless compared to what happens when the event occurs. 750% in a few days. All right, so you saw an example of an insider buy. You saw an example of an unusual option. Later in the presentation, I'm going to show you sometimes they combine and you get both leading indicators in the same trade. This is just a snapshot of the software I want to demo for you that's going to get you all these great trades. Really a simple interface, not a lot of decisions to make, but we have full training available with the software recorded on the website. You can review it as many times as you want. Now, before I get to the actual software demo, I just want to point out to that upgrade that we installed recently, and that is in real-time text alerts on insider buys. All right. So you can imagine, give you an example. Let's say you're sitting at the doctor's office waiting, because that's what we do. And you get this text alert that there was a buy on Doug, D-O-U-G, for $1.8 million just a few minutes ago. Okay. So this particular software works on any device that's connected to the internet. So you pull out your smartphone and you look at the software, you do a little analysis. I'm going to show you how to do it. And then you go, yeah, I like that one. You turn around and open up the app to your broker and you buy the shares or the option. It's that real time if you want. All right, let's go ahead and show you the software. Now, the first thing I want to mention about it is this is cloud-based, which means you can use it on any device. It could be Apple products, Windows products, Apple smartphones, all the different, all you need is an internet connection to use the software, right? And there's another really cool reason that that is a great way to use it. And that's because with a simple keyboard command, I can adjust the size of it so that it's easier for me to read, like Control plus on my keyboard. Hello. There we go. Makes it as big as I want to make it to read the small print. Control minus makes it as small. All right, we got a few things we want to look at. I'm not going to type in a symbol right now. I'm just going to go to yesterday, and I'm going to leave the symbol line blank because this is going to scan all the options and all the insider buys yesterday. I want to look for buys only. I want to see both the options and the insiders. And I'm going to put a filter in here that says, I want to see only those insiders who wrote a check for $400,000 or more. And you can adjust that to whatever you want. And once I've done all that, I can go ahead and hit scan, and bang. That's how quick it is. Yesterday, we had 9 different insider buys of over 400,000. That just looked at every single filing yesterday and gave us the critical information we need. We know the stock symbol, the title of the person's name, what they paid, and we even have a copy of the form they filed with the SEC. So let's just take a look here. I'm going to pick on TKO, right? Because TKO is a very interesting case study to look at. I hit TKO, and it's going to bring me up the chart. Looks like a stock you'd like to be in, right? Now, this TradingView plugin is part of the software. You probably have your own favorite charting program, but just as a quick way while you're using the software to get an idea whether it's a stock you're interested in, you can click on that and it'll pop open the chart in a new window. That'll give you information like earnings dates and dividends and some fundamental information. And there are technical indicators you can put in there. All right. Now I'm going to go over here and then I'm going to say, all right, well, let me see the Form 4. And I'm going to click on that. And there you go. We know it was Patrick Weitzel, and he's a 10% owner in the company. And he bought lots of different chunks of the stock at different prices, a couple million each time. Holy smoke. Holy smoke. He was buying it. 1.8 million shares. What was that? It was $68 million. 8-figure check that he wrote. Wait a minute. It wasn't just him. The CEO, Ariel Emanuel, also put 68 million in, as did a fund. This is critically bullish about this stock, TKO. All of these guys going in and writing big checks like that. So the first thing I'm going to do after I see that is I'm going to go over here and now I'm going to type TKO in here because what I want to see is all the filings for TKO. And I'm going to go insiders only and I'm going to go scan. Holy smoke. Look at these guys. They're writing 8-figure checks over and over and over again. And you remember what the chart looked like. They're writing 8-figure checks as it's going up. What do you think the stock's going to do? Incredibly cool tell. In fact, this is a live trade we have open right now. I'll just show you where it's at today. This is one of those where we saw not only the insiders buying tremendous amounts of the stock, but the unusual options came into play. Back here on December 20th, we noticed a big bet, 460,000 on the March $170 call options. Now, this stock was trading at $140 at the time. The board members put in 77 million each at 147. We got in the trade for $2.10 a share. Minimum investment, $210. Maximum loss, $210. Well, as of today, and this is up to date, this option's trading at $15.70. We're up 600%. TKO. In fact, let's take a look. Where's it at right now? It dropped just a little bit. It's trading. Here's my position. It's trading at about 14.5. So remember what I said earlier. Sometimes it's insider buys. Sometimes it's uh, unusual options. Sometimes we get both of them together, and those become really powerful. Now, what do you do with all this information? Well, we're going to teach you how to take these 8, 9, 10 different opportunities and pare them down to the best one or two. We've got the best practices on honing this list down. So how we're going to do that is we're just going to hit copy, and then you're going to bring up a spreadsheet, and you're going to say paste. And all that information that comes into a spreadsheet. And then we're going to teach you how to look through a workflow process that we've perfected to pick which one of these is the best. And you know what else? We're going to do the same thing with the call options. Yesterday, there weren't a whole lot of them, only 7. But I'm going to copy that over. See, where did it go? There we go. I'm going to copy it over. I'm going to put it in my options spreadsheet, and I'm going to have all that data. And I'm going to keep that data because I want to be able to use it in the future. And that is how easy it is to use the software. That's all you have to do. Beautiful. All right, let's get back to our presentation. I want to start showing you some proof. All right, I just showed you that it puts out a number of possibilities. We call them candidates every day. Sometimes it's a few, sometimes it's 20. You may be thinking, well, gee, it's nice that it took all those filings and all those options contracts and it winnowed them down to just a few. But it still looks like I have work to do, Mike. And the answer is yeah and no. Okay. Let me explain something I've learned in 16 years of teaching traders. There's a certain type of person who doesn't want to follow anybody. They're do-it-yourselfers. They want to own the skill of making this happen. And so for them, our membership teaches you how to do what we do, the step-by-step proprietary workflow, right from grabbing the information from the software to putting it into a spreadsheet to going through a checklist that winnows that down to the best 1, maybe 2 candidates. And you will own that skill. We teach you how to do it. And obviously you can opt into the text alerts. Now, the other person I've met in my teaching over the years is someone who's too busy to do that. And they simply say, Mike, can you just, since you guys are doing all that research, can you just send me the candidates? And so we do that. Our membership covers both personality types. Those who want to own the skill and do it themselves, we show you how. You own it. When you don't want to do it, or you don't have the time to do it, you'll receive an email every single morning before the open of the market. Actually, you'll receive 2. One with unusual options and one with insiders buys, because our team goes through and does the process of vetting every one of those candidates down to just the very best. So do-it-yourselfers, we got you covered. Those of you that are busy, got you covered as well. All right, let's take a look at some more trades. And I'm going to go through, there's a lot here, so I'm going to go through it pretty quickly. I just want you to kind of understand a few things. Number one, 100 shares in an option would be 100 times this. Repeating myself. So this is an $88 investment, meaning minimum in $88, maximum loss $88. Twilio, 88 in, 900 out for a 900% return in 2 weeks. CRM, now this was both. This was not only an unusual option, we also had a director come in the middle of it and write a check for $100 million to buy the shares. In at $181, out at $1,280 in a few days. Salesforce. KKR in at $70, out at $446. KDP in at $35, out at $120. Now, this is a good one to talk about for a minute because you know what? I would never have Keurig Dr. Pepper on my hot list. I have no, I'm looking at energy stocks, AI stocks, biotechs. I want something that's going to move. But you know what? This strategy automatically diversifies your portfolio of trades because now you're not looking at, oh, I just want to go into this sector or that sector and try and figure out which ones are hot and which ones are not and when they're turning. No, we're looking at a much better leading indicator, which is what are the insiders doing with their money? What are the big option speculators doing with their money? Who's writing 6, 7, and 8-figure checks? That's who I want to follow. So, it didn't make as much as the other ones, but there's nothing wrong with a 200% return in a couple of months. Actually, what? 3.5 in 2 weeks. All right. Arcutis, $36 became 320. Royal Caribbean, 730 became 4,350. GE, 175 became 1,000. Delta, 92 became 244. Google, 61 became 515. Vistra, 46 became 750. Came right back at us. 150 became 1,350. Trump Media, $70 became 670. AstraZeneca, $92 became, this has got cut off. Sold half of this position the other day. Still got half of it, but 226%. That was $3. Sold half the position at $3. So, in at $92, out at half of it at 300. In fact, Brandon here, what does he say? Yeah, I said, typed in our chat room in WhatsApp, AZN is soaring in pre-market, in at 92, sold half the position on this surge. Anyone else? Brandon saying, yeah, I trimmed mine already as well, looking for it to hit 85. Okay. T-Mobile, new board member, ex-executive from Deutsche Telekom, just joins the board of T-Mobile, writes a check for almost $1 million back in the beginning of January to buy the shares at $210, $15 or so. The March $220 calls were $6. That's 600 in. They're trading at 27.25 today. That 600 became 2,700, right? And here was what Paul said. Took the March 240s. He went a little bit cheaper. He got in at $1.80. He didn't pay up for the options that were a little more closer to price, and sold them for 10 that morning. So 180 became 1,000 for Paul. Still holding 2 contracts a bit longer. Good job. Here's Richard on Oklo. Big money bet, 494,000. We're in at $2. That's 200 in. Couple weeks later, it's 1,500. And what did Richard say? Sold Oklo this morning at 15.20, was in at $2. Good job, Richard. Amgen, massive smart money bet, $3.3 million placed on the 295 call options. We got in at $2.36, $236 in risk, trading $11.50 in 7 days. Rob bought 2 at $2.36, sold 1 today for $12.30, holding on to the last one for a little longer. Good job, Rob. Run, massive trade here. Look at the price of this option. A $500,000 bet was placed on this option at 14 cents, $14 a share. Take a look at how many shares that would have been. And what did we get out at? 2,500% return. This stock jumped up in 4 days from $14 to $370. Dale closed out at $350 or $3.50, nearly 8 times my money as I scaled out. Not bad for getting in a trade on Tuesday at $14 and out on Friday at $350. Good job, Dale. There was $1 million smart money bet on Palantir. Stock was at 40 some dollars, and their bet was that it would hit 65 by December, right here. What did they know? All right. This option was only 29 cents. So you're talking $29 for the contract, peaked at 11.90. Julie, I want to thank you for your coaching and support. I had an excellent trade on Palantir with an 800% gain and net out over $12,000. Good job, Julie. Another great smart money bet, this one on AppLovin. They bet 2 million on this particular call option. We got in at $270, went up to 88 in 2 weeks. 270 become 8,800. Asking in the chat room, what did you make on the app trade? Helena, $10,490. Carlo, didn't make the same, but I traded in and out and made 3,000 on the last leg. That's awesome. Great job. All right, what did I just do? I showed you dozens of asymmetrical trades, dozens of trades where you could lose a little bit of money and had the opportunity to make a ton. You could lose more trades than you win with this strategy, just like Wall Street does, just like hedge funds do, just like prop shops do. They know it's hard to have 80% winners. Don't believe it. The best trades are the ones where you risk a little and don't care, and you have the opportunity to make outsized gains. That's how the big boys do it. And they do it as a team. That's what I want to offer you. All right, if I was you, I'd be sitting there saying, all right, Mike, that looks really good, but what about the losers? And the answer is yes, you're going to have more losing trades than winning trades with this strategy if you trade it the way we do. As I said, you could get out of those options anytime you want if you feel that you didn't want to lose the whole amount. I just wanted to make this a very simple presentation and say, let's keep these rules simple. We're buying the next day and we're going to hold them till expiration. See what happened. You could have got it at any time other than that. All right. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of losers, but here's the deal. They're small and they should be a number that you really don't care about because the winners completely overcompensate for the losing trades. All right. Okay. Now, what I want to do now is I want to invite you to join our membership because this is way more than a software demonstration. Our online software, Insider's Edge, has a value of $1,997. And I want you to set that number aside for a minute because I have a very special membership offer I want to give you in a little bit. That's the value of the software. As I mentioned already, you can use it on any device, Apple, Windows, smartphones, tablets. Just have an internet connection. Now, you don't have to, but you can opt into our real-time text alerts on the insider buys. Every day at the end of the day, just after the market closes, you can run the scan and download all of the unusual options activity of that day. You can use this software for way more than I just showed you. I showed you a simple, I'm going to just go buy a call option and hold it till expiration strategy. Easiest thing to do, just like you buy a stock and say you're going to sell it in a couple of months, right? That's a directional trade. That's a trade that you think it's going up. But this software has so many different ways to trade. I'm keeping it simple for today. A lot of our members are really skilled at different option strategies, and they'll trade this with spreads. A lot of our members have really big accounts, and what they'll do is they'll want to accumulate good dividend-paying stocks. I can tell you this, there is no better dividend stock to buy than one where you see the insiders going in repetitively before ex-dividend date and buying more shares. They're the ones on the board that are making the dividend decision. They're the ones that know the strength and the growth of that dividend. And when they're buying the stock over and over again, you don't need to know anything else. That's the dividend play. So there's a lot of different ways you can use this. All right, let's move on. It's more than just software. You're going to get training on not only the software, but all the rules that we have perfected over thousands of trades on how to use those candidates, how to winnow them down to just the best candidates that come out of the software scans. So you'll get that training, right? You're also, and that has, by the way, a $497 value. Now, some of you may not know me, but I also have a futures day trading room. We get together every morning to day trade futures contracts, and we do it as a team. And I love trading as a team because, as I already mentioned, we get to hold each other accountable. We get to share best practices. We get to fix challenges, and we get to get the synergy of having other great traders around us, just like Wall Street, the hedge funds, and the prop shops do. But this strategy here is a swing trading strategy. We don't need to get together every day. Well, we decided that the best time frame to get together and have live coaching sessions was weekly. So every Saturday morning at 10:30, we host a Zoom session just like this, where we all get together and we share. We do practice to find the candidates. We pick the right timing to get in them. We share when we've gotten in and out of them and how we're doing. It's a fabulous growth experience in your trading, and it'll help you. It'll help you in anything else you're doing in trading, not just this. And that live weekly coaching has a value of $197 a month. Now, for those of you that opted into the, hey man, I want you to do it for me camp, you'll get 2 emails every day, and they'll have a little write-up on why we've selected that particular candidate. They'll talk about trades we're leaving with at a loss, and it'll also have an ongoing portfolio of trades with how they're doing. Now, we're not licensed to give individual buy-sell prices to you. We are offering you a software program and the coaching for you to make those decisions yourself. And you'll be able to talk with all the other members as well in our WhatsApp group. So we just kind of give action ideas like, profit, profit, profit. You might think about taking some profit on these trades that are really looking good. So that comes out to you every day. Now, some days there won't be any candidates because we hunt down for quality, not quantity. And but we still send you an email, and we do that because we want you to know we've done our job. All right, we have a private WhatsApp group. This is where we get together virtually every day if you want with all the other members, and we share successes, we share ideas, and we do a lot of learning as well. I am in this room every day answering questions and teaching little tricks about the strategy and trading in general. All right, that is everything that's in the membership, and that's a mouthful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this all on one slide for you so that you can see what it all is easily. And I want to make you an offer to join. So we have the software with free maintenance updates, $19.97 value. The live training online, $497 value. The daily email hot list, $197 a month. Annually, $2,364. The weekly coaching, $197 a month. Annually, another $2,364. The private WhatsApp group for sharing, that is doesn't have a retail price, but it is included in the membership, and I consider that the most priceless part of this. All right, you add it all up, and that's a $7,000 investment on your part, and you could justify it. I just showed you 2 members who testified that they had trades of over $10,000 gains with less than $1,000 invested in the trade. And I'm sure there's more. That's just a couple that I've heard from. But I want to make you an offer today. And I want to explain why I'm making this offer. Up until now, we have only been marketing this product in-house to my contact list. You're either here because you're on my trade aptitude blog email list or my daily market forecast list, or you're a member of one of my meetups in Detroit, Tampa, and Orlando. And for your patronage, I want to make you a very special offer before we take this in the following months out to the public and market it aggressively, where there will be monthly fees for all these things on a regular basis. You can join today for 3 monthly payments of $2.99. That's it. Let me explain. You can go to the order form, which I'm going to take and put a link to in the chat window right now. All right. That little explanation is what I'm about to tell you. And there's a link down there. What I want you to do, whether you made up your mind or not, is click on the link. That will launch in your web browser that order form. So just have it handy. Click on the link and have it handy. But when you join, you will be billed $2.99 today. You will have immediate access to the software and the recorded training. You will start getting email notifications tomorrow. You will be able to come to coaching on Saturday, and you can join the WhatsApp group today. You will be able to experience all of this training, education, and coaching, and talk to dozens of traders in the WhatsApp group. You'll be able to do all that for the next 30 days for a $2.99 deposit today. If it's not for you, if you've taken the test drive and it doesn't feel like it's your cup of tea, let us know and you'll get your $2.99 back. If you love it, and I'm sure you will, do nothing and you will be billed $2.99, 2 more months, and that's it. No further payments. You'll own the software, the training, be on the hot list, and have access to the coaching from now on, as long as you want, for just $2.99 a month. All right, so you're thinking maybe what might be my ROI on this? Let's take a look. Jack in at $77, out at $194. People in the EL trade, 176% in 1 week. Pi in at 166, out at 379. Also made some money on a spread, one of the happier days in trading. JR and Twilio made 13 times his money. Jeff peeled off half at a triple, and then 75% at 100%. 50% at a triple, nice triple, got half off at a double so far. Everybody's sharing their results. You're going to be able to watch this for a month. You're going to be able to see all of these teammates who are getting these tremendous results, right? Katie, small account holder, made 300 the first week. CSGP in for 190, out for 590, right? I could go on and on with this. Parker, half the membership on the first trade, right? We got CRM up on a big down day. JR in at 195 at 1,500 now. Whoop. BNTX in at $2, out at 1,200. Here we go. $13, out at 43 with more to go. How should I handle it? Nancy hit an FDA approval. 900% return, made $12,000. Wow. Love doing this. Love seeing this. In at 46, up 1,173%. All right, again, I could keep showing you these 6 times, 10 times. Andy Beck recovered it all on the first trade. Quality, risk mitigated, strongly recommend. John Clifford, easy to use, super fast, high quality candidates. more than just software. It's not software that's going to sit on your computer. This takes it to the next level. You've got a team, just like Wall Street does, a team of traders, dozens of them who are having outsized returns on a regular basis to talk to and hang out with in the WhatsApp group. And you have weekly coaching with me every Saturday. Well worth the investment, something I'm happy to endorse. Okay, so you've got the link in the chat window there. And I'll come back and answer those questions. Ethan's saying, is that for life or the future yearly payments? Now, this particular offer, Ethan, is for life. You will have a charge of $299 today where you can test drive everything for a month and get your money back if it isn't for you. If you love it, do nothing and you will be billed 2 more times and have lifetime access to the coaching, the emails, and the software itself. All right. Now I want to show you what happens next. So I went ahead and clicked that link. And what happens next is when you click that link, you'll come to the order form and you can read this. It's exactly what I've just told you. Please know that the company name is the Daily Market Forecast. That's what's going to show up on your credit card statement. And you're acknowledging that you'll be billed $299 today and that you may cancel and receive a refund for that within 30 days. After that, you will be billed 2 more payments of $299 automatically. Fill in the information. This is a secure order page at Stripe and make your purchase. It's as simple as that. Now, once you do that, let me tell you what's going to happen. You will be redirected to the membership area on our website, which I am going to take you through and show you. You'll instantly receive an email with very simple instructions on how to get the software account started. Live training begins Saturday at 10:30. All the recordings are available now. Go right for it. Email notifications start tomorrow, and you can always reach out to me for support. Okay? So let me take you to the website and show you what your membership area looks like and all the different things that you have available to you immediately. You will get login information via email. You will log in, and in the membership area on the website, you are enrolling in the Insider's Edge VIP membership. Click on that. It's very intuitive. Start at the top. Do this first. Click on the folder, and it shows you how to access the software. It's a simple website click and fill out a form to join the to get the software going. You can pick your own password when you do that. Now, once you have the software, before you do anything else, I want you to complete some lessons, right? And there are 7 of them. Lesson number 1 teaches you how to scan for insider buys and pick only the very best ones. You can, and I encourage you to, when you get to these recordings, click on this little wheel and increase the speed to 1 1/4. It'll be a little less time spent, and it'll smooth out some of those times where you don't hear much, where there's pauses. So that is lesson number 1. Whoops, went a little far there. All right, lesson number 2 is how to scan and find unusual options. Lesson 3, what kind of entry rules should you be using? Pick your own, bring your own, or use some of our suggestions and what some of the other members have teed up. Same thing with exits. Then we have a lesson on organizing and managing a portfolio of these trades, including a spreadsheet. We have a trade review process to improve you, and we also have a psychology of trading part 1, and we'll be adding to that. And then if you go down here, you can see that there are many more coaching sessions. Every one of them over the last couple years has been recorded. If I look here, there is 9 pages, so there's over 90 different lessons on trading that you can apply to not only this, but everything else you do in the world of trading. So that is everything that you have at your membership area. Okay. All right. Now let's go and answer some questions. Let me go back up here and see what we have. How do you know when to collect the profit and exit? Okay, so Justin, we've got that coaching session I just pointed to on the website that will give you ideas on how to exit. But what I suggest is you attend with us the Saturday sessions, and they're recorded. If you can't make Saturday morning, understood, they're recorded, and you'll be able to share your own experiences with us, right? And learn what everybody else did. I just answered that question. Okay. All right. All right. So now you know how to access it. All right, cool. So let's go. I don't see any more questions. Let me just kind of go through an FAQ that we have, that I've heard. These are questions I've heard, and maybe it'll tickle something for you. All right. Why should I trust you and your company? Good question. My answer is this. My reputation as a skilled trader and coach is completely transparent online. You can go Google my name, which is quite unique, and you'll find dozens of recommendations on my LinkedIn page, as well as a lot of interviews on money.net. In fact, if we just take a look here on LinkedIn, 42 different recommendations for me as a trader and an instructor. Go ahead and check it out. I am completely transparent. So when it comes to trust, you don't have any issues. In fact, I'll tell you, some of those testimonials that are there, they've been trading with me for 16 years. So, that's quite a testimonial right there. A lot of people want to know what size account is required. And we like to use conservative risk management. So, if you follow that, you probably don't want to lose more than 2% of your account on any one trade, maybe 3, So you notice that a lot of those trades could be open for $30, $40, $60, $100. So, somewhere between $2,000 and $5,000 is probably a reasonable place to start. Yeah, the more the merrier, obviously. How many trades will I see in the email every day? Well, I can't control opportunity. I can only look for quality. So some days there will be 1, 2, rarely, but sometimes 3, and some days none at all. But you still get the email, as I mentioned. I don't know much about options. Is this for me? Yes. Yes. And I'll tell you why. Right up here in the lessons for options beginners, basic call options trading. Got an hour-long mini course for you on how to use options with this strategy. So if you're new to options or you're uncomfortable with options, no problem. Okay. Here's a good one. I hear this all the time. If this is so good, why do you share it? Why don't you keep it for yourself and get rich? All right, I have a couple answers for that. Number one, you coming and doing this isn't going to kill the strategy, okay? In fact, I can tell you this. We might just get big enough that we can push the market ourselves. How about that? So I don't have any problem sharing this because it's not going to hurt it. And in fact, it may help it. And the second reason is, as you already know, I'm an entrepreneur, but built, bought, and sold businesses in my life. And I view having multiple sources of income as completely necessary in life. So why not? Which broker should I use? Anybody who allows call options and stocks, anybody who trades those. What's the win-loss percentage? Well, it's going to vary by the trader, because we're not giving you specific entry and exit rules. I showed you one idea for that. That is, buy the next day, sell at expiration, or close out at expiration. And that's what I do most of the time. But everybody's different. You're a certain amount of money in a short period of time is going to get really exciting for you. And you may want to take it. I just can't tell you exactly what that is. However, I will tell you what I got, what my hundreds of trades have performed at. And there's no guarantee you're going to copy me either. But I lose 61% of my trades and win 39% of them. And I don't care, because the losers are this small and the winners way overcompensate for it. All right. And coaching sessions recorded? Yes, they are. And they're available on the website within an hour or so. Okay. All right. Type in your questions if you have any more. So let's do this. While you're doing that, let's see if there's anyone. Does anyone in your group use this info to trade with shares instead of options? Oh, yeah, plenty. Plenty. You just have to have that size of an account, Ethan. Although I got to tell you, a lot of the insider buys are on low price stocks. I mean, we just had one, just the other day. What was it? On AMD. So yeah, we get the big companies too. Yeah, the chief product officer at AMD just wrote a check for $500,000 the other day. So that's on our radar screen. But yeah, you can use stocks, no question. We just, a lot of people have smaller accounts, and I want to be able to accommodate them. So we talk about the call options. Okay. All right. So let's take a look here. And let me do this. I'd like to share some ideas with you. Okay. I'm a coach. So I want to take this opportunity to just coach you a little bit right now, if you don't mind. Okay. What I'm asking you to do is change. And a lot of people don't like change. They resist it, even when they know they should. You should improve your trading, right? But that's why we make it very easy for you to test drive our product, our strategy, our methodology for teaching and delivering. You can test drive all of this with no risk, right? So I just want you to imagine this. Okay, if you can shut your eyes, even better. In the next 30 days, you will have mastered our software. You'll have learned all the strategy rules. You'll have gotten comfortable executing entries and exits. You'll have placed between 20 and 40 simulated trades, risking no money. You'll have chatted with dozens of traders who are using this strategy right now and have been for months, making significant profits, right? Now, if you could picture that, you've done all of that 30 days from now. That is when you get to decide whether you're staying or not. You have no risk. You'll get your $299 back if it's not for you. See, what we're doing is offering you this really rich learning experience and trading experience at our risk. I'll give it to you for 30 days. And if it's not for you, no problem. So what's that mean? It means it's time for you to take action. It's time for you to change what you're doing and try this. Click the link and sign up. Join our team. I believe you're going to love it, as over 150 other traders on the team have. You will not be disappointed. But just to kind of wrap it up for you, I want to leave you with this quote from Charles Darwin. It's not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. If you're not getting the money and the consistency you want out of your trading right now, then try this. You have no risk. All right. Do the emails recommend an option strike and expiry? Yes, they all do. They all do, Ethan. And oh, Helena's here. Hi, Helena. It is a big family. Nice to see you. All right. All right. With that, I've got a futures market to wrap up today. So I'm going to take off. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Brad, Ethan, click on the link and join. Let's hang out together and we'll see what happens. Right? You like it? You're here. You don't like it? No risk on your part. With that, I wish you all a great weekend. Oh wow, it's a long weekend. That's right. It's President's Day next Monday, and it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. So yeah, we're all going to have a great weekend. And anyway, I hope to see you on Saturday. Everybody, take care.